for those of you who were not able to join this presentation earlier, because we understand there are some students always who apply in different rounds. Right now, the third round of application is going on, and there would be new admits who would not be aware of the process. So that's the first thing. The second thing that we are going to do today is share 3 folders with you on Google Drive, which has been shared with your predecessors and seniors. The first folder is going to be pre-admission, all the documents that you require before applying to KEDGE. Second folder would be called post-admission. The folder would have all set of documents which you would require after your admission to KEDGE. Basically included your housing, insurance, visa, flight processes, campus, France, and everything. And finally, third folder would be post-arrival that happens and would have documents related to information for you when you land in France, what happens then. And obviously, then we would have a Q&A. So this entire thing, I don't think from our side would take more than 20 minutes. And then we have another 10-15 minutes for your questions and queries. So if you have any questions, please post them in the chat section of this webinar. Secondly, you can also raise your hand if you have a question whenever you have a question. So for example, let's say when we are doing a presentation, you have a question, feel free to raise your hand and we would address your query. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, so again, any one of you who can confirm if you can see our screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yes, we can
All
see your
right.
screen.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. So let's start with the presentation. The first slide is higher education and career in France with KEDGE Business School. As you all know, studying abroad without a career opportunity would not make a lot of sense for Indian and South Asian students. So this is precisely why this presentation is also going to focus on the careers abroad. Now, most important thing, why France? These are 6 solid reasons. Number one, France is the most represented country in international rankings. There are 25 French business schools in top 100. Secondly, none of you need to learn French. All the programs are completely taught in English, yet we strongly recommend you to learn French for your day-to-day life, better experience, and of course, better job opportunities. That said, you would have enough opportunities to learn the language, including German, Chinese, Spanish, Italian at KEDGE. Number three, internship. Every program at KEDGE would have a mandatory 6 months in an internship included. Because there are 2 laws in France. First law says that every academic year needs to have an internship. Second law says that it needs to be a paid internship. So all of you who would have a paid internship at KEDGE Business School, it would be assisted and supported by KEDGE Business School. Number four, PSW. All the students in this session would have a post-study work visa. If you are an Indian student and going to KEDGE for your master's, once you graduate, you would have 2 years of stay back visa that would allow you to find jobs and you would be able to travel anywhere in Europe. And if you're not an Indian student, let's say you are from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Maldives in South Asia, then your stay back visa would be for 1 year. Next up, Schengen. All of you, I'm sure, are aware what is Schengen. Schengen is a group of countries, 29 European countries, which offer seamless travel. And finally, ROI. So the cost of tuition at KEDGE is amongst the lowest in top 50 business schools worldwide, and wages are pretty high. So return on investment is on the higher side. Now, this is the Schengen area. So this is France. And then, of course, you have all other countries in dark blue. That means with your French visa, you can travel to any country in dark blue or light blue of your choice without any further visa. For example, let's say you go to France and tomorrow you want to look for an internship in Germany or Poland or Switzerland, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland. You can travel without any further documents. You can just take a train, bus, flight, and go with your passport. If some of you believe these are not enough reasons, we still have number one, Eiffel Tower. So France is the most visited country on earth, number one for fashion, food, wine, travel, tourism, third fastest train system in the world, sporting capital because Paris just organized Olympics, and aviation hub because I'm sure you know what is Airbus. Airbus is next to our campuses. So these are some enough reasons for you to consider France. If I talk particularly about KEDGE, KEDGE was founded in 1872, and as of 2026, it's a 154-year-old school. In terms of some stats, there are a lot of stats here on your screen. I'm just going to highlight the important ones for you. So there are 300 companies that come for placement every year. We are going to see a few of them today. There are 309 university partners across the globe. If I only talk about South Asia, then we have IIM. So there are 7 IIMs which are official partners. There are 15,000 students studying with KEDGE across 10 campuses worldwide, and quarter of them are international. And 300 entrepreneurial projects every year. That means you can start your own company at KEDGE and raise seed funding as well. These are the campuses. So Bordeaux, Marseille, Paris, and Toulon. You can choose any campus of your choice. So let's say Manna Rumi is going to Marseille, and then Namita can go to Bordeaux, and Annie can go to Paris. And it's absolutely fine because the courses, classes, faculty, jobs, placements, internship, everything is exactly the same on campus. So regardless of your campus you go to, you'd have same facilities. The only difference would be the cities. So Bordeaux is a very French town. So if you want the experience of a French town, go to Bordeaux. If you love sun and you want to be on the beach side, go to Marseille because it's barely 10-15 minutes from the beach. And if you love a cosmopolitan city, then of course, Paris. Same for Toulon. Toulon is next to Nice, Cannes, Monaco. So you can actually go there and enjoy the French Riviera vibes. These are 4 more campuses, 2 in Africa and 2 in China. Now let's come to programs and pedagogies. On program side, some of you who are admits, you would already know the programs. People who are aspirants, they may have some idea. So the number one program right now, number one in terms of the screen, not the rankings, on your left-hand side, you can see MIM, which is equivalent to MBA in India. So for example, let's say if you're going for an MBA at IIM Ahmedabad, you can actually do an MIM and have the same degree. It's just that the nomenclature is different. On the undergrad side, you have 2 undergrad programs, KEDGE Bachelor, International BBA. The difference is International BBA is 4 years, KEDGE Bachelor is 3 years. Then, of course, you have MSCs, which are specialized master's programs and most recognized programs pan-Europe. And these are the programs you can see on your screen. If you want me to read, I can. So let me just give it a try. Wine, hospitality, spirits, sustainable finance, sports, marketing, purchasing, supply chain, trade and logistics. Oh, by the way, purchasing reminds me of one thing. The program director of purchasing program, which is also the number one ranked program in the world, is a British national, and he's coming to India next month. And we would be doing a 10 days tour across 4 or 5 different cities. And the program director would be very happy to engage with aspirants and admits over a dinner. So whenever he's here, we would share the dates and details, and you would be able to meet. Supply chain, logistics, international business. By the way, this is the program that I did 10 years back. Digital marketing, data analytics, creativity and design, corporate finance, sustainability, business engineering, banking and finance, arts and creatives. These are all the master's programs. You can go for any one of them. There's one more program which is added to this one. In fact, two. One is international business law and tourism management. These are new programs which are not yet here because this is the last year's presentation, but those are new programs. And then, of course, you have executive MBA, which is for people who have 3 years of work experience. So these are the programs on your screen. If I talk about the tuition fee, the KEDGE Bachelor is 27,000 euro for 3 years. International BBA is 43,000 euros for 4 years. As you can see, 2 internships are offered in each course. Now let's talk about masters. So MSc, some of you would know that MSc is always a 2-year program. If you have a 16-year of education, let's say 4-year undergrad degree, or a 5-year of experience, or a dual degree with your institution. Let's say you're coming from IIM Bangalore, and IIM Bangalore has a dual degree with KEDGE, then you can do 1 year at IIM Bangalore, 1 year at KEDGE Business School. So you don't need to do M1, which is first year of master. You can directly go to M2, which is the second year of master. And I think there are 20 odd dual degrees in India. At IIMs, we have IIM Bangalore, Udaipur, and Amritsar. So these students can benefit from that. And of course, even if you're not from an IIM, you have a 4 year undergrad degree or 5 years of experience, you can directly apply for M2. And the tuition fees here, 17 to 24,000 euro. If you have a 3 year degree and less than 5 years of experience, of course, the tuition fee is only raised by 9,500 euro for first year. So it's not exactly same in first year and second year like India or any other country. It's exactly half of the second year. If you're going for a 1 year program, you'd have one internship. If you're going for 2 year program, you'd have two internships of 6 months each. MIM is always 2 years and requires 0 to 3 years of work ex and has two internships. Executive MBA, on the other hand, has the only, I mean, it's the only program that requires 3+ years of work ex and has a January intake. And that's the tuition fee at the bottom of it. In terms of application process, all you require is your resume, degree, mark sheets, medium of instruction that proves that you studied in English, passport and ID, statement of purpose, and scholarship essay. That's all. There's one more document required for students who are right now enrolled in an institution. Let's say you're studying right now in your final year, then you need a letter of enrollment. That means you need a document from your college on a letterhead that says so and so student is studying so and so program and studying in English. That's all. Once you have all these documents, you can submit application. The application fees is 120 euros. Right now for round 3, we have a waiver going on. So if you submit your application before end of January 31st, all of you would benefit from application fee waiver. But for students who are coming from a dual degree, they would anyway have it. The final deadline is June 30 to apply for September intake. We strongly recommend all of you to apply by the end of January because the Charpak scholarship by Government of France is coming up and you need to have an offer letter to apply for that. In terms of scholarships, for MOU students, they already get a fixed scholarships if there is an MOU between their institution and KEDGE. But if there's not an MOU, students can apply for early bird. If you apply before end of November, you automatically get 10%. If you apply before end of February, which is still coming up, you get 5%. And then, of course, you have 10% of solidarity, excellence, and diversity, which is subject to your interview and your essays. Just be very careful. Some students do not even write an essay for a scholarship and then they inquire if they are eligible for a scholarship. So my recommendation to those students would be please apply with a scholarship essay during your during your application submission. In terms of jobs, so from the very first semester, you would be getting benefits of online, individual, and collective workshops, basically helping you prepare for your interviews, your LinkedIn profile, negotiating a salary better suited for jobs in Europe. And that is going to be included in your course, and you'd have these classes every 1 or 2 weeks so that you can prepare well for jobs and internships. The internship record at KEDGE is 100%. So every student gets an internship because obviously it's a law. You can't get a degree without your internship. Employability is 100% within 6 months of graduation, and the average starting salary is 45,000 euros. As of today, it's around 46 to 47 lakhs in Indian currency. And that's the average starting salary. So there is no minimum salary. I mean, this could be potentially a minimum salary because the minimum salary for a full-time job in France is around 43,000 euro. If you get a full-time job in France, you can't get paid less than 43,000 euro. So that's the average starting salary, not the average salary. The average could be well within 55 to 60,000 euro range. Now, I was talking about some companies that come to KEDGE. So these are some of the companies you can check on your screen. So we have Airbus, Apple, ArcelorMittal, Bank of China, Louis Vuitton, L'Oreal, LinkedIn, Sony, Total, Accenture, Microsoft, so on and so forth. In 2024, this is the Bordeaux campus. As you can see, I don't know if you can see which car it is. This is Lamborghini. Huracan, and this came to KEDGE to recruit students in 2024 summer, and they hired 8 of our international students in 2024. And this is the same program for which the program director would be in India next month. So we expect you to meet him. In terms of entrepreneurship, as I mentioned, you can open your company at KEDGE. You can find a co-founder or possibly open the company on your own. You'd have the entrepreneurship cell in each campus. We would select 1,000 students every year, and the seed funding is also available. So as you can see, in past 11 years, 126 million euros, which is close to 1,400 crore rupees in Indian currency, has been granted to our own students. So if you have an idea, don't wait. In terms of rankings, KEDGE is ranked 29th in Europe, 6th in France, and 18th best executive MBA worldwide. In terms of QS ranking, KEDGE is ranked 54 worldwide as a business school for business programs. In terms of accreditations, KEDGE is a triple accredited school. So you have A, CSB, AMBA, and EQUIS, the 3 most prestigious accreditations in the world. And of course, it's recognized by the French authorities. In terms of triple accreditation understanding for you, in India, we have 3, right now we have around 4 triple accredited schools. So these are the 3 triple accredited schools as of last year, and KEDGE is one of them in France. In terms of some alums, so we have CXO level positions of Morgan Stanley, IBM, London Stock Exchange, so on and so forth. And these are some of South Asian students. So the most important thing for you to understand here is the course and the kind of companies they are in. So international business graduate is working with Louis Vuitton. Supply chain graduate is working with Schneider. Sustainable finance graduate is working with a European public sector bank. And sports and events graduate is working with International Cricket Council. So it's very important that you choose a program based on your career interest. If you want to be in fashion, go for marketing. If you want to be in hospitality, go for wine and hospitality. If you want to be in sporting sector, go for sports and events. If you want to be in sales and marketing, go for international business. So my recommendation is choose a program, not because, I mean, yeah, curriculum is important, but largely choose a program subject to your career goals. That's the team we have, so you can reach out to me for any queries and questions and doubts. Let's simply summarize the KEDGE presentation. Number 1, why? Largest business school in France, triple accredited, 309 university partners, including 7 IIMs from India. Return on investment, the undergrad fees is roughly around 8 to 10 lakhs a year. Master's programs for second year is around 16 to 18 lakhs. And for Master 1, if you are going for 2-year program, then it's around 7 to 8 lakhs per year. In terms of salaries, the undergrad salaries are roughly around 35 to 37 lakhs. Well, I'm saying in lakhs, but the euro is also mentioned here. And for masters, that's roughly between 42 to 50. And these are the stats of last year, because now 43,000 euro does not mean 42 lakhs. It means 44 lakhs because euro is rising. And MBA is around 55 to 70 lakhs. In terms of visas, I already mentioned all of you would have 2 years of stay back visa from India. Other nationalities would have a year stay back, but then all of you would get a 4-year work visa as soon as you start your job, and 5 years of alumni visa once you graduate as an Indian student. In terms of alumni, KEDGE has the largest alumni network in France. That's around 100,000 alumni across the globe. So whether you want to work in Sydney or Melbourne or wherever you want, you would always have an opportunity to apply for any company of your choice. Just give me a sec. All right, sorry, let's move ahead. In terms of careers, 100% employment, entrepreneurship opportunities. In terms of extracurricular clubs, you would have multiple student associations. Some of them are sports, marketing, consulting, wellness, culture. In terms of some pictures from the campus, this is sailing club of our students. You can join a sailing club if you prefer sailing. You can join athletics, basketball, cultural festivals, cultural days on campus. We celebrate each festival on campus from different nationalities. So this is Chinese National Day, but you can also celebrate Diwali, Holi, Eid, whichever festival you want to indulge in. You can bring on your pets onto the campus. I'm not sure if they would be able to get the visas, but if they get the visas, bring on them to the campus. KEDGE is unofficially #1 school for parties in south of France. So if you love parties, KEDGE is the place to be. KEDGE has its own wine yard. That's the only school in France because we have two wine programs. Both are ranked #1 in France. This is how a typical orientation day looks like, not a classroom. This is the orientation day. That means the first day of school. You can bring two of your parents on campus during your convocation and get free champagne. This is the picture of Marseille campus. So Marseille campus is south of France. The hills that you see right behind these hills is Mediterranean Sea, so barely 10 minutes from the beach. This is the Bordeaux campus. The city that you see here on the left-hand side, that's the city center, well connected by tram and bus. There is a bus stop right next to KEDGE. So this is the entire KEDGE campus. The buildings that you see here, the tall buildings, are some of the hostels of KEDGE. So you'll be staying in these hostels, but you can also stay in city center, Airbnb, wherever you want with your friends, family, alone, or double sharing. This is the Paris campus. It's like a typical glass building that you can see in metropolitan cities. And that's our contact details. So that's my email ID and phone number, which you already have. If you don't, feel free to take a note. And now this is the end of presentation, but now I'm going to take you to what I promised, which is basically the folders. Now, these are the KEDGE folders, which we prepared carefully for all of you, and all of you should have access to it. If you don't have access to it, please share your email IDs in the group today after this session, and we will share the links with you. Now, there are three folders, as I mentioned: pre-admission, post-admission, post-arrival. Let's start with pre-admission. Pre-admission means you haven't even submitted your application to KEDGE. So what are the documents that could be useful to you? There's an application guide, which is step-by-step. There is around 35 brochures that you could be using to get more information. There is a CV template that we recommend students to have because every student is different and some people have one-page CV, some have five-page CVs. It does not make any sense to have five-page CVs. So we strongly recommend all of you to have one, maximum two-page CVs. It's a template. And then, of course, you have an interview prep material, which you can access and see how the questions are, what is the duration, what are the do's and don'ts. Now let's go back. Let's go to post-admission. This is very important. Now, the first thing that you need to see here is EF guide, which is basically a EF is basically Campus France, Etude en France, which means it's a step-by-step Campus France guide. Then you have Campus France interview preparation. You have a Campus France step-by-step guide again. This is for India and this is for Pakistan. Then you have a checklist of things that you need to carry. This checklist was not prepared by us. This is prepared by your seniors. So we'll be sharing this with you. Once again, a CV template. CVEC student contribution fees, mandatory for all international students. That's around €100 that you need to pay once you come to KEDGE, not right now, and you become a member of French students community. And then, of course, what is this? This is France visa cover letter. This is a visa cover letter which you would write when you apply for visa. This is a step-by-step guide for France visa process. I'm going to explain that to you in a bit. Then, of course, you have a document for housing links. You can open that today and get some information, but then don't worry, don't rush too much because, as I said, in February and March, we would have housing webinars from KEDGE housing team. They would explain everything step by step. Then some housing norms, once again, KEDGE housing for South Asia, list of additional documents. This is payment terms. This is registration process step by step. This has changed a bit because now Earlier the registration was in a different portal. Now the registration is also part of the same portal where you actually apply. So as soon as you are accepted, you get an email ID and a password, and you click on that, and then you complete your registration. Webinar was done in November. We already shared the video recording of that with all of you in the group. You should be able to access it. There is a list of student ambassadors from KEDGE, so you can actually get in touch with them. These are their names, email IDs, programs, their current status, LinkedIn profile, and campus. So you can reach out to them if you have any questions or queries. And then, of course, some useful information related to each campus. VFS checklist is basically a visa checklist that you would need to have when you apply for visa, which will happen after March, and then VFS documents again. And finally, VISAL. VISAL is student insurance, which you don't need to take right now. We will explain it in possibly June, July, or August. Now, for now, I need to show you this, which is step-by-step visa process. Now, what happens once you start your visa process? So for those of you who have already received visa letters, I repeat, not the offer letters, visa letters, you can actually start your Campus France process right now. Visa process for France is two steps process. Number one is Campus France. Number two is VFS. VFS in India. In Pakistan, it's directly the embassy. There is no VFS. But in India, you can't go to the embassy. You have to go to the VFS. And so the step one is absolutely same for everyone. So for those of you who have received visa letter, you can start it today. For those of you who haven't received your visa letter, don't worry. Once you receive your acceptance, you complete your deposit and registration, you would receive your visa letter, and then you can start it. So what happens? What is the step number one? You go to this link, create your account, fill the form. I'll show you a guide as well. Fill the form. Once you completed online form, upload all the required documents. Once you have documents, would be your academic documents only. And just remember one thing, if you have a gap, make sure you upload the gap justification letter as well. Gap in your education. Let's say you completed your class 12th and then you took a gap of 6 months or 1 year. Explain that. Why was there a gap? Once again, during your graduation, if there was a gap after graduation. So just one piece of document explaining all the gaps you have. Once you have submitted your file, Campus France will contact you to pay their visa fees. Last year it was around 18,000, but this year it might be changed. So they would contact you with all the details, and you would just email them the payment receipt. And once that is done, they would organize your academic interview. Now, this interview could be online, could be offline. That depends on Campus France. What happens on the day of interview? You would need to carry 12th mark sheet and passing certificate, bachelor's degree and passing certificate, master's degree and passing certificate if applicable, work experience letters or internships if applicable, passport is mandatory, and visa letter from KEDGE Business School. So that's step number two. And finally, once they complete your Campus France process, they will give you EEF document, which is your no objection certificate. As soon as you have that, you can actually apply for VFS. And VFS, we would do a different webinar. Although we did a webinar last year, that recording is also available in the group. You can just go ahead and see how does that work. But VFS is basically taking an appointment with the embassy to submit your passport. Now, for the first and second step, I'm going to show you step-by-step guide once again. So this is how it looks like. If you have an admission letter, I'm just going to zoom it up so you can see on your screen. So it says I have an admission letter, and this is the official document provided by Campus France. Now, first stage is you got your admission letter. Second is you complete your online form. Third is you prepare all your documents, hard copies. Fourth is you validate the online form. Fifth is interview at Campus France. Sixth is you submit your passport at VFS. Seventh is you get the visa decision. And finally, you take a flight and go to France. Okay. Now, I'm just going to show you step-by-step guide quickly. Although you would have this guide with you starting today, some of you would already have it. And once you get this guide, you can actually follow the step-by-step process. You can create a login here, then fill in the basic information. All of this information is pretty easy. Email ID, confirm, name, surname, address, gender, date of birth, country, city of birth, nationality, your passport information, blah, blah, blah. Move to next page. You'll receive an email. Click on that email and activate your account. Then log in, then log into Campus France. It will look like this. Then move to next page. Click on this arrow, which is your mailbox. Then click on your admitted candidate because you have been accepted. Remember, you cannot apply if you're not accepted. If you're an aspirant today, please do not apply. Okay, you only apply when you have the visa letter. Now click on admitted candidate, click here. Then there are two options, exchange, full-time. Please make sure you apply for full-time, even if you're coming from a dual degree. Exchange is only 90 days. None of you are going for 90 days. You're going for 365 days or more. So click on full-time. Click, choose the program. There are multiple options. Choose the degree program. Then search program and catalog. Then write some keywords. For example, if you are going for sports program, simply write KEDGE sports. If you're going for wine, KEDGE wine. Just this keywords and search. It will give you all the options. Select the option that you are accepted for. So for example, if you're selected for year 1, select year 1. If you're selected for year 2, select year 2. Select your campus. Keep going ahead, enter the starting date. Starting date would be mentioned in your offer letter and visa letter. End date would be exactly 365 days. Okay, so let's say if starting date is 1st of September 2026, the end date would be 31st of August next year. Then highlight reasons of choosing this school. Make sure you don't write like multiple words. There's a limit, 1500 characters only. So use that. And make sure you answer the same thing during your interview. So you can write rankings, recognition, accreditations, job opportunities, list of courses, alumni, whatever reasons you have of going to KEDGE. Please just don't write, I'm going to KEDGE because, my friends recommended me or I want to see Eiffel Tower. Don't write all those things. Okay, so keep moving ahead. Then click on supporting documents. Please check this. So it needs to be PDF, JPEG, PNG, not exceeding 300 KB. Upload all the documents which it asks for. Once you upload all the documents, it will show you complete. Next step is personal information. Click on that. Upload your photo. Size is mentioned here. Format is mentioned here. Keep going ahead. Contact information, please fill it up. Any other information, if you have a scholarship from Campus France or KEDGE, just explain that here. Keep going ahead. Next up, documents. What documents? It says CV. Please upload CV. Format is mentioned here. Size is mentioned here. Keep going ahead. Then it says next document is your educational document. You can select from drop down your 10+2. Upload your 10+2 information. Upload the document. Size and format is mentioned. I request everybody to be on mute, please. Yeah, thank you.
बुखार होने वाला है।
हमें बुखार हो कोई नहीं बुखार हो
हाँ, जब मैं चीज ज्यादा रेड होती है तो मुझे बुखार होता है।
Sorry for that. Then in terms of language proficiency, if you have a language certificate for French, upload it. If you don't have it, leave it. If you have a document for English language proficiency, upload it. If you don't have it, upload your class 10th mark sheet. Keep going ahead. Then write the answers, whichever are relevant. Keep going ahead. Now it will show you personal information complete, educational qualification complete, language proficiency complete. Then you simply submit. Once you submit, it will give you a summary. Verify, submit, check your email, and there would be three options. Number one, your file has been validated. Number two, they will ask you to pay the processing fees, which is roughly around 18 to 20,000 Indian rupees. Thirdly, schedule appointment. Once you have completed the first two steps, you can schedule an appointment with the Campus France, and they will ask you for an interview. You download this document, the appointment letter, and go to Campus France with this PDF letter. That's all. That's how easy it is. Okay, so don't worry. You can simply do your Campus France process starting today. If you have received your visa letter, if you haven't received your visa letter, wait for it. Complete your Campus France process. The guide is here. All of you would have access to it. If you don't have access to it, as I said, share your email IDs in the group. We have two groups, aspirants and admits. So it would only be for aspirants and admits. So please share your email IDs in the respective groups. We'll share the access with you. So for now, you only need access. You only need to check out this document. Of course, there would be multiple other documents. So for example, some of you might ask what kind of questions they would ask. There is a guide. You can go through it. They can ask you about your background, what is your present status, what do you want to do in future, what do you need to avoid. All of this guide has been carefully prepared by us and has been uploaded here. There are multiple documents here. You can explore all of them, but do not get confused. Right now, you only need to see this Campus France guide, and all the information is mentioned here. So that's pretty much it. Final drive is for post-arrival, and this for residence permit process. You don't need to worry about it right now. That's a very simple 10 minutes online process. Sorry, how to register your visa once you get to France and what you need to do to validate your visa, basically to get your student visa converted in residence permit. And then finally, list of webinars. Here you would find access to all the webinars. As you see, on 17th November, we did a VFS webinar. If you want to see how does VFS look like, although you don't need to right now, but let's say if you want to see, you can see how to apply for VFS. Okay, so there would be a VFS webinar recording step by step. You can actually go through it, how to write a cover letter, everything. But I remind you again, it's not required right now. On 16th of May last year, there was a housing webinar. You can once again open, check what are the housing options you would have, and you can go through it in details. How to book a housing, blah, blah, blah. These two ladies are from housing team of KEDGE. You can check all the residences. You can look at their pictures. You can look at their maps, facilities, services provided. But I remind you again, the housing webinar would be conducted in March again. So if you don't need to right now, you can avoid. But just for information purpose, you have list of all the webinars here. There is a alumni webinar. You can connect with alumni of these two programs. There's a presentation webinar here. There is a banking loan webinar here. There is a VMake Scholar with 26 Indian banks. If you want a loan, you can actually look out their webinar. There is a travel insurance webinar here. So there are a lot of webinar recordings and you can watch during your free time. But for right now, the only two important folders would be pre-admission and post-admission. So that's pretty much it. Any questions, anyone? I hope I was able to finish in 30 minutes or so. Yeah. So now let's start with any questions. If you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer your question. Let's start with the raised hands. Arham, you raised your hand. Please go ahead, unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, I last week I applied for the Campus de France. I'm still waiting for their email. So should I still wait now, and should an email for them for the follow-up? I still received the
No.
confirmation from them.
No. So right now you don't need to do anything. Once you apply for Campus France, it depends on Campus France when they will contact you for the next steps.
Okay.
So you don't need to worry about that. The good thing is you're not in July or August. People who apply for Campus France in July and August, they have a rush. They are worried if they would get visas on time or not. This is precisely why we recommend starting Campus France process as soon as you have your visa letter, because right now it's January. Even if in the worst case, let's say Campus France takes 2 months time, you still have enough time to apply for visa. So do not worry if you have done your Campus France job, that's done. Now wait for Campus France to come back to you.
And how much time tentative does it take further?
Again, as I said, it cannot be confirmed. Sometimes they come back in 2 days. Sometimes
Okay,
it might take up to 1 month. So don't worry about it.
1 month. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, anyone else? Any other questions? You can raise your hand. Let me go to chat. I think there is a question in the chat section. Yeah, there are a couple of questions. The first one is from Mana Rumi, who says, I had applied with an essay. When can I expect an update? So Rumi, basically you get an update on your scholarship once you have received your offer letter. Once you have received your offer letter, you would receive the update in a couple of working days. Although it's mentioned in your contract, so once you start your registration process, once you fill in your information, within 2 to 3 working days, you receive your contract, and all the details are mentioned there. If you haven't received any information, you can reach out to the admission team at welcome@kedgebs.com or WhatsApp us, and we would check and verify for you. Annie says, can students planning to enroll for dual degree apply to the scholarships? So Annie, you can apply for scholarships, but not the KEDGE scholarships, because all of the students, while they would be applying for KEDGE scholarships, the dual degree students, for example, let's say if you're coming from IIM, you already have a fixed amount, so that scholarship would be provided to you. But then you can definitely apply for Campus France scholarship. The next scholarship coming up is Charpak. It would open very soon. Last year it opened in January. So as soon as it opens, we would share the details in the group and you would be able to apply for Campus France scholarships. Diksha says, do we have to give IELTS for Campus France application? The answer is no, you don't need to give IELTS to study in France. You will, for example, right now we have already gotten an acceptance at KEDGE, and that is subject to your MOI, medium of instruction. So you can upload your MOI or your 10th mark sheet in your Campus France process. IELTS is not required to study in France. Kshitij says, do I need a loan approval letter for Campus France interview? Well, Kshitij, no, because when I showed you the Campus France documentation, the only documents required for Campus France process are academic documents. You don't need housing, flights, insurance, loan, financing, nothing of that sort. For Campus France, all you need is your academic documents, your 10th, your 12th, your undergrad, if you have completed your master's, any language tests, and your visa letter. That's all. Yajna says, hello, sir. Will it make any difference if I take assistance from Leap Scholar for getting admission? Please. No, not at all, Yajna. You can actually apply. Every year we have a mix of students who apply from agencies or on their own, and there is absolutely no difference. You can apply from any company of your choice. Yajna also says, can you please confirm if 10th mark sheet is enough instead of MOI? Yajna, for KEDGE, you need MOI or English test, but for Embassy or Campus France, 10th mark sheet is enough. So I repeat myself, for KEDGE, you don't need an English test unless you have an MOI. So medium of instruction is mandatory or an English test. But for Embassy, you need only 10th mark sheet or an English test. MOI is not accepted by the Embassy. Okay. Yes, Arham.
I just have one more question.
Yeah.
So what's the study curriculum for the MSc Marketing M2 program? I believe it's a 6 months internship or 6 months, it's a semester-based program, right?
No, it's already on the website. I'm not sure if you have checked the website. So let me quickly show you my screen again. You go to Google and write KEDGE Marketing. You can actually check the brochures as well and click on curriculum. And it's same for every program at KEDGE. So when you go to curriculum, there are two options, 1 year and 2 year. Which program you've been accepted for?
1 year.
1 year, so short track, click on details. So that's semester 1, semester 2. So semester 1, you would have all of these courses you can check out at home after this
Got it.
presentation. That's 4 months, September to December. Then semester 2, once again, you'd have electives. You can choose any elective of your choice. Once again, 4 months. That's 8 months, followed by a 6 months paid internship. So 8 plus
Okay.
6 is 14. Your entire course is 14 months. And that's true for every M2 student.
Okay, got it. Got it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So nice.
No worries. No worries. Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? You can raise your hand or type in. I see a couple of students typing in, so I'm just going to wait. Just a couple of information while questions are coming up. We have a 10-city tour coming up in February and March, so stay tuned. We'll be going to 10 different cities in India. Largely, the big cities, so Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Chennai, and Kolkata, and other cities as well. So we'll keep you posted with Campus France and with other fairs as well, and our own trip as well. So stay tuned to that. Number 2, we would have a KEDGE program director for purchasing who would be coming to India next month. So we would be doing another 10 days tour with him. So you would be able to meet the program director, understand the job scenarios, placements, salaries, what kind of companies come in. So for job opportunities, that is going to be interesting for all of you. Number three, for those of you who are not based in India, don't worry, because we would have multiple master classes starting in February and March. So you would again have an opportunity to contact them online digitally. Number four, in the month of March and April, we would be doing a series of alumni webinars. So students who have graduated recently in past 3 years, 5 years, they would be coming and you would be able to talk to them directly. Those days I won't be talking. It would be the alumni, current student, and you. So they would be sharing their experience, and then you would be able to ask any sort of questions. In the same time, around March and April, you would have housing webinars, insurance webinars from KEDGE. So you would get all those details. And then May, June, July is absolutely visa time. So don't worry about anything. You would get entire assistance from KEDGE. There's final question from Utkarsh, who says the application fee will me waived off automatically. No, it's not waived off automatically. You need to complete your application and share the application ID. You can share it in the group or DM, but you need to share that. And Utkarsh says you want to know about MIM program. That's pretty simple. You go to the website, click on oh, just scroll back, click on program, go on MIM, and then simply click on curriculum. There you would have both the years, Master 1, Master 2, click on both the years, read more about semesters, subjects, electives. You can get that information. Click on Master 2 again, get all the information. And then once you click on careers, you would be able to see what are the kind of companies coming in, what are the job available, what is the start salary, what is the placement stat, what are the different kind of companies. And that's available for every program. So similarly, if students are looking for any other program, you can go to postgrad, click on any program of your choice. Let me click on banking and finance, for example, and look at this. In the presentation, I showed you the average starting salary is 45,000 euro, but for banking and finance, it's 50,000 euro because finance pays the highest. So this is how you all can get more information on the KEDGE website. Yajna says global supply chain course is available only in Bordeaux. Yes, Yajna, the name, the program and campus name is already mentioned on the program website. It's only available in Bordeaux. Anybody else? Any other questions? Or we can wrap up the session. Anyone? Any questions? I think Josh is typing a question, so let's just wait for his question, and then we are pretty much done for today, but we would be organizing such sessions in future as well. We did a webinar in November. This is the fourth webinar, but this is the first one for January. Starting next week, we are traveling, so we would be in Hyderabad, Rajkot, and other cities, and we would share those details with you. So just waiting for Josh to write his question. His question is here: how are the opportunities for MSc Marketing specialization in luxury management, one in Paris? Well, you can actually go to the same program, click on marketing, and click on the career opportunities. And these are the kind of career opportunities available in marketing. So somebody can actually get into customer experience, international marketing, business development and negotiation, brand management. So I think that is pretty much your interest. You can work as a brand manager, product manager, marketing manager, social media marketing manager, or you can also work in communication, media, and events. So there are 4 different career paths. Majority students, they go for business development, product management, marketing management, customer management, digital marketing, advertising. These are the different sectors where people get jobs, and these are the different companies. So marketing gets most of the fashion companies. So Christian Dior is there, Chanel is there, Louis Vuitton is there. So these are the Nike is there, L'Oreal is there. These are some of the companies our marketing students get placed at. So these are the kind of career opportunities. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Any final questions, anyone, before we wrap up the session? By the way, thank you so much for joining. And once again, apologies for the 15 minutes delay. Thanks for waiting. We would be organizing such more sessions very soon in the month of Jan, Feb, and March. So just remember, from January till May, it's going to be a lot of events, both offline and online, a lot of webinars, a lot of alumni contacts, and a lot of engagement. So once again, thank you so much, everyone. If you have more questions, you can simply write in the aspirants group or admins group at any point in time. Feel free to post your questions and queries, and we would be very happy to share details with all of you. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening and take care of yourselves.